This is Eyewitness News at 6. Coverage you can count on.
A major crash under investigation right now. Tonight, the driver of this car is dead after the car rams into a local home. And troops, plenty of them relieved to be home right now. We're there when Rhode Islanders come back after a year in the battlefields in Iraq. Good evening, everyone. A car crash that was more than just a crash. The car breaking through fences and obstacles, ending when it slammed right into a house. We're getting the latest information now on the victims, one of whom didn't survive. This is our top local story tonight at 6. Eyewitness News reporter Raina Smith is live now with details from the Northwest Mobile Newsroom.
The wreck not only claimed the life of one man, it also left a lot of property damage for one homeowner. Residents of this Plainfield Street home say the accident was so violent it shook their entire house.
I was feel afraid.
Eyewitness News cameras were there shortly after the devastating crash late last night, which claimed the life of one man. Police saying speed was a factor in the accident. Witnesses say the car was traveling this way east on Plainfield Street when it literally made a U-turn, crashing into this fence, then a chain link fence, and eventually into the house. The house owned by Rose Leon, who says she was home at the time the car plunged nose first into her basement.
The house shake.
Rose's son John was also home and took us inside to see the damage. As you can see here, the car came dangerously close to slamming into their boiler.
I heard a big explosion, like bim, in the house, and the house was shaking so bad. So I went down to see what's going on, and then I saw a car. Like went to the house.
John says he ran outside to try to help the two men inside the vehicle.
One of them was moving a little bit, and the other one wasn't moving. But too bad for him, he passed away after the accident.
The driver was pronounced dead at Rhode Island Hospital. At last check, the passenger was listed in serious condition. Now, police say this accident does remain under investigation. They are not yet releasing the names of the two men in that car. We're live with the mobile newsroom. Raina Smith, Eyewitness News.
Staying in Johnston now with the Northwest Mobile Newsroom at the scene of yet another crash. This one also on Plainfield Street, just down the street from that accident we just told you about that killed the driver there. This one happening across from Lombardi's 1025 Club. The car here you see wound up on its side after eyewitnesses say the driver somehow lost control. The investigation continues there. New at 6, a woman is violently stabbed multiple times and goes to the hospital. This happened early this morning just before 6 o'clock on Boston Neck Road in Narragansett. Police say they got a 911 call to come assist a 39-year-old woman there. Her injuries don't appear to be life-threatening, but police tell us they are still investigating what happened to her there. Well, 50 of Rhode Island's finest, not to mention some of the bravest, all home tonight after a long tour of duty that had them on the front lines in the war in Iraq for 1 year. Eyewitness News taking you to the emotional homecoming with the South County Mobile Newsroom.
Looks of anticipation, even excitement, but most of all, faces of families who are proud and overall happy this tour of duty is now done.
I flew up from Florida. My dad's here from Arizona, so we're all here to support him.
Sisters of soldiers and so many more crowding the hangar here at Quonset Air National Guard Base, all waiting for a sign in the sky that will bring some much-needed relief.
To be coming home, the whole unit intact, I think is tremendous. I couldn't be proud of each and every one of them.
Dads like David Dalpy waiting just a few more minutes now for the plane carrying his son and 49 other soldiers in the 103rd Field Artillery Brigade headquarters, deployed for 13 months with the State National Guard, doing anti-insurgency work in Mosul, all now glad to be home. 26-year-old Sergeant David Dalpy among those in this unit, too overwhelmed to say too much.
You try to make it through every day, and you wake up, and it's tough. I mean, being away from everybody for so long, it's a horrible feeling, but this is the best feeling right here.
Just a feeling of a job well done from their boss, who's now at his final homecoming as the head of the State National Guard.
I can remember when this unit went out from North Main Street, and it was a totally different emotional thing going on, and little kids, you know, saying daddy in a different way. Today they're saying, daddy, welcome home.
Well, after 50 years of service to the State National Guard, General Centracchio's retirement takes effect now in just a few weeks. He says he still plans to be on hand to welcome home the remaining 615 members of the Guard who are still deployed tonight. The East Bay Mobile Newsroom at Cold State Park now, where a fundraiser is held for the family of a fallen soldier. Sergeant Christopher Potts of Tiverton was killed in October while serving in Iraq. Potts died in a firefight near a traffic post north of Baghdad on the day that happened to be his 38th birthday. The money raised at today's clam boil goes to help support Potts' wife and 2 children. An update now on a Johnston teachers situation. They're getting ready to strike. We're waiting for word back from the teachers and school district about their latest negotiation session that happened today. The teachers have voted to strike this coming Thursday. That's the second day of school and the day after their current contract expires. The teachers are negotiating with administrators over wages, benefits, and professional development issues. More local coverage coming up next on Eyewitness News at 6. LNG supporters now say it was a flawed report. Details on what are seen as major problems with 2 recent studies aimed at keeping the project out of town. Katrina's already proven deadly, and now she's getting ready to make landfall again. We're tracking the hurricane through the southeast, and we'll bring you the latest scenes from Florida. And is the fire being snuffed out tonight in Providence for the season? We'll tell you exactly how some of the fun is wrapping up for the summer.
And I'm meteorologist TJ Del Santo in the Pinpoint Forecast Center. Beautiful day today. The question is, can we keep it for tomorrow? We are looking at some changes for your Sunday. Live Pinpoint Doppler 12, however, showing the quiet conditions this evening. We'll look at that 7-day futurecast in just a couple of minutes.
You're watching Eyewitness News on WPRI 12, home of the Target 12 investigators, bringing you investigative coverage you can count on. Stay tuned. More news is still to come. Eyewitness News on WPRI 12 continues.
The company that plans to build a liquefied natural gas terminal in Fall River is now firing back. Now says 2 recent studies predicting the project would cause major traffic backups and hurt Rhode Island's marine economy were simply not accurate. The president of Weaver's Cove Energy says the reports are based on fundamentally flawed assumptions and analysis that render the conclusions invalid. The letter is the latest move in a back-and-forth volley between opponents of the terminal and Weaver's Cove, which is owned by Hess LNG. The Tiverton School Department is making a change in the start of the school year. Delays in some remodeling work on the high school means the start date for Tiverton High School students only is now pushed back a bit. Freshman orientation is now September 6th. All other high school grades go back to school on the 7th. And this is a sure sign summer's coming to an end. The grand finale of Waterfire, part of Waterfire, takes place tonight. It's the last chance now to take in all the excitement of the lighting of the bonfires in the capital city, because tonight ends the jazz and dancing stage of the popular event. Now, because of Waterfire, Ripta's ferry service between Providence and Newport has also ended for the night. Regular ferry service resumes tomorrow morning. Coming up next on Eyewitness News at 6, states of emergency are declared and people are evacuating before Hurricane Katrina makes landfall yet again. A full report just ahead.
And Katrina could be playing a role in our weather sometime next week. We'll have all the details on that coming up in just a couple of minutes.
Live Pinpoint Doppler 12 made possible by Alpert's Furniture Showplace, always serving our community.
Hurricane Katrina is about to strike again. The storm, in fact, is now turning toward the coastline of Louisiana and Mississippi, and residents who live all along the Gulf Coast now being urged to evacuate before Katrina blows into town. Eyewitness News reporter Drew Levinson is tracking Katrina for us from Miami, Florida.
It's like a bad movie all over again. Hurricane Katrina, the sequel. It hit South Florida on Thursday, moved into the Gulf of Mexico, and now has its sights set on a new target. And all the while, Katrina's gaining strength.
But I just don't see any reason why this will not become a very, very powerful hurricane before it's all over.
This hurricane is now aiming for the southeast coast of Louisiana. Arrival time as early as Monday morning. And hurricane experts predict at that point, Katrina could be a Category 4 storm with winds of at least 131 miles per hour. Thousands have already been told to leave.
Perhaps we can pray very hard that the intensity will weaken.
When Katrina hit down here in South Florida, it was a Category 1 hurricane. But its 80-mile-an-hour winds and rain surprised many of the folks down here. They didn't think it would be that serious. 7 people were killed.
It was worse than I thought it was going to be. I mean, it was blowing hard, I mean, it was sounding like a train coming through the house.
Utility crews are still working to restore power to hundreds of thousands of customers, and cleanup from the downed trees and flooding has only just begun.
It's not just the physical loss of property, it's the psychological aspects of this. It wears you down.
And Florida could get hit again. Hurricane season is still in full swing. It doesn't end until November 30th. In Miami, Drew Levinson, Eyewitness News.
And what a season it's been. Now to track Katrina or any other hurricane this season, simply download our free Pinpoint Doppler 12 Hurricane Tracker from our website, WPRI.com.
Accurate, dependable, live Pinpoint Doppler 12 is Southern New England's only live Doppler radar. Now, here's meteorologist TJ Del Santo with your live Pinpoint Doppler 12 Futurecast.
And some of the hurricane experts are suggesting that we could actually get all the way through the list of names, which I think would be the first time that we ever do that in the Atlantic Ocean. Katrina could play a role in our weather sometime next week in the form of some rain. Let's take a look at what's happening outside right now. Live Pinpoint Doppler 12 showing no rain out there. Nonetheless, we're examining the atmosphere in real time. Live city cam picture looking off toward the east. You can see some blue sky out there, lots of sunshine. It's a beautiful day. Right now it's 76 degrees. Feels like 78 with a touch of humidity. Winds from the south-southeast. Fairly active, around 15 miles an hour. It was a little breezy today. It was very nice, actually. 75 in Tucket, 76 in Providence, 73 right now in Newport, westerly at around 75 degrees. And over in southeastern Mass, mid to upper 70s. And New Bedford, Taunton, and Plymouth. Live weather information from North Bay Manor in Smithfield. I was there yesterday talking all about hurricanes and hurricane preparedness. Met with a bunch of nice folks. Thank you very much for inviting me. You have 76 degrees outside right now. Winds from the south and southwest, 6-7 miles an hour or so, with a dew point temperature of 58. Still relatively comfortable, but it will be on the rise over the next 24 hours because we have high pressure sitting off our coastline on the backside of it. Southwesterly winds bringing in the humidity, and we're going to see lots of clouds developing overnight tonight, especially low clouds along the south coast, and they'll be tough to break throughout the daytime tomorrow. And take note of all the green off to our west. Some scattered rain showers out ahead of this cold front. Cold front's going to try and work its way into New England, but it's going to really slow down, but the moisture isn't. And we're going to have the possibility for a few scattered showers tomorrow afternoon and evening. But during the daytime on Monday, we could be seeing a lot of rain working its way into our area. Two of our computer models indicate that we could be seeing some soaking rains Monday night into Tuesday morning, with more to come with the remnants of Katrina. So all those complaints that we've had a dry summer could come to an end this week, as we're looking at the potential for a good amount of rain over the next 7 days. A bit muggy tonight with the areas of fog developing along the south coast, and then throughout the late night into tomorrow morning around 8 o'clock, fog lingering along the south coast. Maybe a little bit of sunshine around 8 o'clock in the morning away from the coastline. We'll get a little bit more sun tomorrow afternoon, but clouds will be filling in throughout the afternoon hours with a few scattered rain showers late afternoon and evening. Not a washout tomorrow. And then Monday, we could be looking at a little bit more in the way of rain, perhaps even a lot more. Partly cloudy and muggy for your water fire futurecast begins at 7:27, about an hour from now. Temperatures late in the night in the mid-60s, 65 in Providence, 65 in Warwick around 8 o'clock tomorrow morning. Waking up to lots of clouds, a little bit more in the way of sun further inland, areas of fog along the south coast. Then during the afternoon, temperatures should be topping out a little cooler than today. 77 in Providence, 77 in EP. Cranston and Warwick into the upper 70s. To the south coast we go. Temperatures should be topping out around 77 in Richmond, 75 in Point Judith, flying on into the East Greenwich area where temperatures should be in the upper 70s around 3 o'clock in the afternoon. Possibility of a scattered rain shower in Knightsville and Garden City, east side of Providence, downtown, upper 70s. Northern Rhode Island, maybe a few passing showers late afternoon with highs in the upper 70s. Humid in Taunton and Attleboro in the mid-70s. There is Katrina right now. Look at all the rain moving through Florida right now. Has its eyes on New Orleans, and we are anticipating Katrina's remnants to work its way into the northeast sometime Wednesday into the morning hours of Thursday, bringing us some possibly heavy rain Monday night into early Tuesday, then a break, then the remnants of Katrina move on through. Right now, next weekend looks to be good for your Pinpoint Futurecast. Anytime, log on to our website, WPRI.com, get live Pinpoint Doppler 12 and a detailed weather analysis going out 7 days. So even we could see remnants of Katrina, but not a hurricane or a tropical storm, just some rain.
It's so dry, you have to wonder where that water's going to go, though, right away.
Hopefully it'll water those lawns pretty well.
All right. Thanks very much, TJ. Coming up next on Eyewitness News at 6, the Red Sox win a wild one last night at Fenway. We take a look back coming up next in sports.
You're watching Eyewitness News at 6. Coverage you can count on. Now, Eyewitness Sports with Robb Garofalo.
The Red Sox back at it tonight against the Tigers. Bronson Arroyo gets the start. Sox winning a wild one at Fenway last night, 9-8, which had a little bit of everything. Had new sod in the outfield due to the damage the Rolling Stones concert stage did to it. That pushed the game back an hour. Tim Wakefield returned to the mound for the first time since being hit in the right leg by a line drive, and fittingly enough, he got hit there again. Ouch, Dimitri Young right off the leg in the first. He did, Tim, that is, stay in the game. Little controversy last night as well. Chris Granderson with the drive to right. Big question, is it fair or is it foul? Mr. Zinni, what do you think?
Foul.
Oh, it depends on what angle you look at. The angle the ump saw was the fair home run angle. That got Terry a little miffed. He said the magic words, and Terry got tossed for the 5th time this season.
You know what bothered me was, and I just got a memo from the league stating that when they meet, it has to be conclusive. You know, when an umpire in the middle of the field overrules it, that word conclusive, that was difficult for me to swallow right there. That was kind of my point.
Yankees making an off-the-field move before their game with the Royals today. Yanks acquiring Matt Lawton from the Cubs in exchange for minor league pitcher Justin Berg. Lawton in the lineup today. Royals would take a 7-3 lead into the bottom of the 9th. But lest we forget, these are the Royals. Bases loaded for Derek Jeter. He bounces one into left field. Jorge Posada will score. Right behind him is Mr. Lawton. The Yanks now trail 7-6. 2 batters later, they don't trail. We're tied. Gary Sheffield, the seeing eye single down the line to right. Tony Womack trots home. 7-7, 2 outs, winning run 90 feet away. A-Rod plates him. Alex Rodriguez, game-winning RBI, a 5-run 9th for the Yanks. They win at 8-7, so right now they trail the Sox by 2 games. Little League World Series, California and Hawaii battling for the U.S. national title. Hawaii's Von Feau doing his part, 2-run shot to Little League Hill. Feau's 3rd of the tournament. Hawaii wins the U.S. title, 6-1 the final. They'll take on the winner of the Curacao-Japan matchup tonight. Well, the Patriots now 1 game left on their preseason schedule. Pats paid a visit to Lambeau Field last night and put the hurt to the Green Bay Packers. Head coach Bill Belichick warned his team to prepare as though everyone were playing a full regular season game. Corey Dillon came to play last night. Dillon carrying the ball 14 times for 70 yards and 2 touchdowns, including that 12-yarder in the first quarter. Tom Brady played the entire first half and the first series of the 3rd quarter. Brady completed 12 passes for 127 yards, and that 12-yard touchdown. Pats defense came up with 3 interceptions of Brett Favre as well. They cruised 27-3. They wrap up the preseason Thursday against the New York Football Giants. Second round of the Champions Tour, Gen Well tradition currently underway. Dana Quigley still on the course. He's 4 under through 9 holes, leaving him 9 under. Dr. Gil Morgan currently leads at 11 under. Last night, Rhode Island Convention Center played host to the Sweet Science Classic Entertainment and Sports, providing a night at the fights. 3 titles on the line in this one. Matt Godfrey, he took one. The fighter known as Too Smooth was just that, scoring a unanimous decision over Willie Herring. Godfrey taking home the U.S. NBC Cruiserweight belt. Matt running his record to 9-0. Not the only win for some local pugilists. The boxer, former Olympian Jason Big Six Estrada won a unanimous decision over Earl Ladson. Narragansett Jamie the Hurricane Clampett blew away her opponent Shelby Walker. Clampett capturing the IWBF lightweight title with a 4th-round TKO. And in the main event, Joey the KO Kid Spina retained his U.S. NBC title with a 3rd-round TKO of Anwar Oshana. Pugilists.
I didn't know that.
Dukes. Put them up.
Break out a dictionary for sports now.
Yeah. And weather, too.
Yeah, we're looking at some unsettled weather. That's what we're spelling for the next several days. Tomorrow, maybe a few showers. Very unsettled on Monday. Tuesday, kind of a break, and then we could be seeing Katrina's remnants in the middle part of next week.
All right. Some rain we can need and use. We do need and could use. All right. I've been up since 4 in the morning, everyone, and I'll be back tomorrow morning for 2 hours of local news from 7 to 9 a.m. However, Danielle North will be here tonight, first on Fox Providence at 10, and then for Eyewitness News at 11. Have a great night, everyone. See you tomorrow morning.
Thank you for making Eyewitness News Southern New England's fastest-growing source for local news. Eyewitness News, coverage you can count on.